From Windsor, Ontario, it's Remotely Zach. And now from Studio 17 in the automotive capital of the world, oh boy, Zachary Thomas.
Hello everybody and welcome to the show. Welcome to Remotely Zach. I am the host, everybody's favorite, Zachary Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. We have, yes, please settle down. Okay, settle down. You know what? One more burst. Okay, now settle down. Please settle down. Control yourselves. Welcome back. I am your host. Yes, please. Oh, yes, I already did that. Thank you so much. Welcome. I mean, come on. Welcome. We are back with a brand new season of Remotely Zach. We have some, we have some brand new stuff going on. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that because we got some brand new stuff going on that I'm really, really excited to be showing you. And of course, you just heard one of our newest additions, my friend Riley Livingston. She will be our narrator for the show. Yes, she will bring us in and she will bring us out. And mark my word, I've known Riley for a while, so mark my words, she will take me out. She will. Oh yeah. Especially if I didn't mention her on the first show. Yes. And I also ask that you like and comment as well, in addition to subscribing, because there's some brand new stuff we got going on, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, yes, get ready, because it's our first show back. There may be lots of edits. There may be. Alrighty, well, I suppose we should start getting to the biggest news of the millennium, basically, right now. Queen Elizabeth has passed. She passed away last week. She passed away. And, we'll always be, they say you'll always be reminded. We'll always be reminded of the Queen every time we pull out a $20 bill. Yes, we will be reminded. Zach, you shouldn't make fun of the Queen. You know what? That's true. Let's make fun of King Charles. I think that would be a better place to do it. Better bet. Yes, of course. Through the line of succession, King Charles will be. King Charles will be King Charles. I'll knock it off the first show back. So I'm really, King Charles the Third. Though given his age, it's more like interim King Charles. Yes. Of course, Camilla, his wife Camilla, will be the queen consort. Yeah, she'll be the queen consort, which I guess is queen adjacent. I don't know. Well, queen consort, because there was no better way to say traitor, I think. Yeah. But you know what? I'll just say this. Happy congratulations are in order for King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla Cabello. Sorry, I had to. That one, I just had to. Wow. Makes you wonder. You could be really anything you want if you're born into royalty, I guess. And of course, that brings me to today's motivational monologue. Now, as you know, I like to speak, I like to give advice. I really shouldn't, but I do. Welcome back from the edit. Yep, that's one of those edits. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly am feeling 22. So, you know what? I want to do some motivational speaking, and I figure this is probably the best way to do it. So, I'm going to talk about how you can be who you want to be. I mean, and I'm going to talk to it from a broadcast perspective of it. So, again, I know what you're thinking. Zach, have you been drinking? Possibly. And yes, I've somehow turned into Dr. Phil, but unlike the real Dr. Phil, I'm actually going to make sense. That was, oh my God, that was bad. I'm going to be talking about how you can be who you want to be from a broadcast journalism, from a broadcast perspective. I always say, people always ask me, Zach, and people always ask me, Zach, how can I do what you do? And I'm like, first of all, you really don't want to do what I'm doing. I mean, I don't know, you don't want to be doing that. But they ask, and I answer, you know what? It's easy to broadcast. I mean, all you gotta do is take your camera, set it up, and just talk. Talk about what you want to talk about. I mean, if you like superheroes, talk about superheroes. If you like Lego, talk about Lego. And I always encourage people, please don't talk about something you don't know, because you're going to be rambling, and nobody wants a TV host that rambles a lot. Hush. Exhibit A. So just, do it. And you know what? People are watching. You might strike the right chord with someone who will be like, hey, we could use something like that on my show, or we could make an entire show out of that. So CTV, CBC, in case you're watching, hi. You could juggle out the news and all of that. We could juggle, sad, depressing news, happy late night news. Sad, depressing news, happy late night news. I mean, come on. I want to bring the show places. So, you know what? If you put your mind to it, put in the work, put in everything, you will succeed at this. I can guarantee that. So, there you go. So I hope I've inspired some people. I hope I have. I really hope I have. So in other news, this is probably lastly, this is the topic that I'm going to be covering. The Canadian Conservative Party has a new leader. Pierre Poilievre. Yes, Poilievre. Rolls right off the tongue. Will be the new leader of the Canadian Progressive Conservative Party. Yes, that's right. He will be likely running against Monsieur Justin Trudeau in the next election. That's right. He won 68.5%, over 60% of the vote. Over 60% of the vote were in favor of Pierre Poilievre. I have nothing. I know very little about this topic. I just wanted to say Pierre Poilievre. Well, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I know I am. Stick around, because we have the candidate for mayor of Windsor, Chris Holt. He will be here. Well, we also have the weirdest news. And now, word to the wise with Wordwood Wiseman. My word, this book is quite disappointing. No mention of the word bosom. Oh, hello. My name is Wordsworth Wiseman, and today's word to the wise is, if you think you look ugly, just look at the person next to you. You'll feel a whole lot better. This has been a word to the wise with Wordwood Wiseman. Welcome back, everybody. We got a great show for you this evening. I'll be speaking to City of Windsor Ward 4 Councillor and also mayoral candidate Chris Holt. He'll be here. We're going to have some good stuff to talk about. We're going to have a wonderful chat. And also, I wrap the show up with the weirdest news found on the internet. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Folks, there is one bit of news that I want to pass along to you, and that is we are going to be broadcasting on CJAM 99.1 FM. Yes, here in Windsor, so be sure to catch the audible version of this show. The video version will air every Friday at 11, and then the audible version will air on 99.1 FM and the iHeartRadio app. So make sure you tune in, make sure you got that app, because you don't want to miss it. It's going to be hilarious. All right, so I don't know if you guys are aware, but Donald Trump had his estate raided over the summer, and I'm going to tell you right now, it was quite the news story. It was quite the buzz, and it also brought up the letters. Apparently, he was keeping the letters, the love letters that he wrote to Kim Jong-un. And being the little known show that we are, we got our hands on some. So would you like to take a look at the Kim Jong-un love letters? Oh boy, this is going to be fantastic. Fantastic, yes. Got the envelope and everything. Alrighty. I suppose cue the music and... Dear Kim, if there is one thing I loved while meeting you, it was your firm grip when we shook. It was very much like when we shook hands. Ooh, yikes. Roses are red, violets are blue. There is no one button I would rather push than you. Spicy. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how wonderful a man you are. I miss you every day, every night. I wish we could start a world fight. Love, Donnie. It's great. That's comforting. I am more excited to see you more than my kids. Love, Donnie. Okay, well that's something else. Something else right there. Folks, I suppose it's time we take a look at some headlines and signs that aren't quite right in my long-running segment. Did I read that right? Alrighty, well, here we go. His other, these are always fun headlines. His other texts were just the tip of the wiener. Talk about opportunity. Make that. All right, I know mom knows best. She knows best, 100%. But I mean, this is a sign that's probably not appropriate for the washroom. I hope everything comes out okay. Me too. I mean, I'm in there. I'm the one doing it. I hope it comes out all right. Alrighty, we got some signs here. This is from the Walnut Grove Baptist Church. Just love everyone. I'll sort them out later. God. Yeah, just love everyone. The ones you didn't, the ones you did. I think it'd be fine. It'd be fine. I'll figure it out after. Alrighty, well this one's something else. I love stupid criminals. I do. I love stupid criminals. Florida family butt dials 911 while planning their next meth cook. I can't even. You know what? I can't even imagine how that would end. I don't want to know how that would end. Well, those are the different headlines and texts that are not quite right. We'll be right back with Chris Holt. Be sure to join us. Stick around. Stay there. Fine. Hey everybody, welcome back. As you may know, or if you don't, then you're gonna know now, there is an election coming up in October here in the city of Windsor. And the choice couldn't be different for mayor, Drew Dilkins or Chris Holt. Now, I actually got a chance to sit down with Chris Holt to talk about the crime in the city of Windsor, inflation, as well as what he envisions the city should look like if he wins this October. So without further ado, here's my interview with mayoral candidate and Ward 4 councilor, Chris Holt. Alrighty, so you are actually running for the mayor of Windsor. What made you decide to run for mayor?
Oh, and yes, I am running for mayor. And thanks for having me on here today, Zach. It's always fun to chat with people about big ideas. Where we can take our city. It's something I really enjoy. So, what made me decide to run? Well, to be honest, about 2 years ago, I would say, in the middle of my second council term. So I've been a city councilor in Ward 4 for 2 terms since 2014. In the middle of that council run, I was just getting beat up. I was getting, it seemed like everything I was working on, everything I was trying, every, coalition I was trying to build, roadblocks were being put in my way. And it was just getting frustrating. My return on investment was not as high as it was the prior 6 years. And I pretty much had enough. And it was towards the end of this term where I told myself that, you know what, I've got I'm either going to quit, I'm going to step off of council because I really cannot work underneath this mayor's office anymore. There was just too many hurdles put in front of me. So it was either a decision of quitting council altogether or replacing the mayor that was putting up the roadblocks in front of me. And I thought, you know what, I've got too much riding on this. I've invested way too much into building the city that I want to build. We have a lot accomplished. I accomplished a lot over my 2 terms, and I would hate to just step away without giving residents the chance to vote for a more progressive, more collaborative mayor.
Now I'm going to talk to you about some potential issues that our city is facing. Crime in downtown is becoming a problem. Several stabbings in the last, 2 to 3 weeks. What, if elected, what is your plan to combat the issue of the rising crime rate in the downtown?
Okay, so to tackle that thing, we really have to differentiate between crime. Crime is blowing a stop sign is a crime, right? So there's all different levels of what it could be considered crime. What we're hearing loud and clear about right now are mental health and addiction issues. So there's been a spate of mental health issues where individuals have garnished weapons and face the consequences for that. These are sick people. These are people who need help. They don't need more police to arrest them or anything like that. We need to get to the core of why it is that this is happening, and it's happening because they have no other options, right? Years ago, the provincial government downloaded mental health and responsibility for mental health on municipalities, and it's really we paid the price. There's been a snowball effect of what's happened. So this didn't happen overnight. This has been a cumulative effect that has reached the levels that we have now. And you mix in addictions issues, especially with fentanyl. It really causes chaos, and so I know a lot of people are out there just calling for more cops, more cops, more cops. And obviously, we need the police to protect us from the ramifications of individuals that are underneath, that are under, a lot of pressures, a lot of sicknesses, addictions, that type of thing. But that's not going to fix the issue. That's not going to solve the next case that we have down the street a little bit, whether it's Palishir or Olette at Wyandotte or wherever the next one's going to be. That's what we have to focus on. We have enough police right now, and they are being asked to perform basically healthcare duties. They're being asked to perform duties where they're not equipped, they're not trained, they're not prepared to do. We need to have more of the people that are trained and are equipped out there on the streets with us, and that's something we've been trying to do. Councillor Bordelin and I. So obviously downtown is in Councillor Bordelin's Ward 3, and he has taken the lead role on many of these things, and I've been supportive and right there with him the entire time. Outreach workers. We've tried to get 8 additional outreach workers in the last budget, and we weren't able to. The hold the line on tax mantra, the dogma that is really controlling the budget, what we're seeing is the effects of that, and unfortunately we need to fix it. And criminalizing panhandlers is not going to do it. It's these are symptoms of a disease. These are not the cause. So that is really what we need to do.
Okay, so I'm a big transit rider. I take the bus, for my, to school, to wherever I need to go. And Mayor Dilkins has actually, first of all, the tunnel bus has not ran since the pandemic. What is the holdup? And if you're elected, would you start the tunnel bus once again?
Well, I wish it was actually up to the mayor to start the tunnel bus, but what we're experiencing is a federal issue with the tunnel bus. It really all comes down to the ArriveCan app, and I have been on the phone with Tyson Craig, the executive director of Transit Windsor, every other day type of thing, because this is a service that is dearly loved, and we're a border community. We have lives that stretch across that international border, and I wish it was something as easy as flicking the switch. There's no evil person really at City Hall that is keeping the hands off that switch. It is a complex issue, and just like anything that we deal with in the city, specifically rail, CP rail. So those are all federal lands. We can't even brush dirt off the train tracks when it covers the street, because that is federal land. So it's a very difficult bureaucracy to deal with. It's very large and slow moving, and I don't think they really grasp what it means for Windsorites to not have that cultural infusion of Detroit in their lives. So but just know it's a very high priority. Transit in general is a very high priority for me.
So sticking on transit, so Mayor Dilkins has shown a lack of caring for our public transit system. What does a modified transit system look like under Mayor Chris Holt?
Okay, I'm going to start. Are you familiar with the More Than Transit plan that
Yes.
2.5 years ago that we passed unanimously in January 2020? So that is a complete rethinking of transit, in how transit can best serve the community of Windsor in 2020 versus 1970, which is when the last routes were actually conceived or added to that type of thing. We've never really rebuilt our transit route. We've always just tweaked it and extended this line a little bit out for a new subdivision that was over there, and extended this line out there for this subdivision that was happening over there. And it's made our access, our mobility worse, really. Instead of adding new lines and rethinking about the mobility needs and the shifting demographics really in our entire city, we've just sort of tweaked the knob.
So I have 3 sets of questions. I'm going to cap this off with 3 sets of questions. You can pass on one, but you must answer two.
Okay.
So in a segment I like to call 3 questions with. So what does Chris Holt do when he's not campaigning, running for mayor?
Right now, when I'm not campaigning, I'm working at Ford.
All
I
righty.
can't. I'm literal and sleeping. And so I have to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep in there somewhere. I am literally 7 days a week, canvassing, knocking on doors, and campaigning. I don't have the benefits of incumbency behind me. I don't have the benefits that brings with you. That brings you instant access to a network of well-moneyed individuals, right? So I do not have the funds, the campaign funds that the incumbent has. So I have to fill that void with volunteers and with my own personal time. So that's what I do. I eat, sleep, and canvass.
All right. In 10 words or less, why should Windsor residents elect Chris Holt?
Seriously, you're talking to a politician? 10 words or less? Because I'm a real person. I work for a living. I'm not in a tower somewhere. I don't know. I wasn't counting. So I'm a real working individual that you can relate to. You would want to have a beer with me. You wouldn't want to have a beer with a lot of the other people.
I wasn't counting either. So
No, it wasn't.
if unsuccessful, will you keep running for politics in the future?
No, I'm probably done after this. Life is short. Yeah, give it your shot and see, make your difference. I really feel that I've made a difference in this city. I'm giving the residents of Windsor a real solid choice this time around, and if Windsorites decide that no, it's not my cup of tea, we're sticking with the status quo, I am going to move on to other things.
All right. Well, you all heard it here first. Chris, thank you so much for being here this evening, and I wish you all the best in
Thanks.
your
in your
Thanks
race.
a ton, Zach. Sorry if I babbled on a lot there, but you brought out the best in me. What can I say?
All right, Chris, thank you so much for being here. And we'll be right back with more Remotely Zach, so stick with us. I'm probably thinking something, maybe like a pizza or something. I think that'd suffice great. I mean, why not? Oh, hello. Sorry. Management. It's Friday, or if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or CGM 99.1 FM, it's Monday, which means it's time to take a look at the weirdest news found on the internet. That's right, it's time for Weird News. Well, what happens in Kentucky really should stay in Kentucky. A woman married her father-in-law after divorcing his stepson. Now, normally say I don't judge, but it's with stories like this, it's kind of hard not to. According to iHeart Intelligence, when Erica Quiggle's marriage with factory worker Justin Towell collapsed, his stepfather, Jeff Quiggle, was there to comfort his former daughter-in-law. The two got so close that sparks flew between them, marking the beginning of their love story. Aw, that's nice. The new motto really should be, "Welcome to Kentucky, where we keep it in the family." Now, I should also mention that the ex-husband actually stuck around. Yeah, he actually stuck around and is still active with the family. Must be awkward when you have to call your ex-wife mommy. Well, that's a story that sounds like it came straight out of Florida. And speaking of Florida, it's time for...
Florida man does whatever a Florida man can. Look out, here comes the Florida man.
I think we should just label this Florida couple. A man and woman were pulled over on I-75 after allegedly doing 95 miles an hour. During the stop, the sheriff caught an overwhelming smell. The deputy then asked what it was, and the man replied, "Man, I don't know," came the reply. He then apparently thought better of continuing the charade. "Yeah," he said, "it's cocaine." Why? He was jailed on drug possessions. I would love to imagine that conversation. "What is it?" "I don't know." "Yeah, it's cocaine." At least he was being honest. Well, that's the weirdness for this week. Oh, did you know for 20 years a cat served as the mayor of an Alaskan town? The more you really didn't want to know. Well, that's the show for you this evening. I thank you so much for watching. And also, I recommend that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with all things Remotely Zach. And also, be sure to catch my other videos relating to my Lego hobby. Those are also on the Zach Attack Productions channel. Well, I've been your host, Zach, and I'll see you again next week. Same place, same time. Good night. Cocaine. I don't know.
Well, that's the show for tonight. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with all the latest Remotely Zach. You can also follow us on our social media. I'm Raina Livingston. Good night.